What is up, Nerdy Squad? It's your boy Otis back with another video. And right now, we're going to talk about my latest pickup. If y'all are subscribers to my channel, if y'all hit that notification bell, you already know over the weekend, your boy had to go pick up, bang, the second son of the next Batman. I picked this up over the weekend, and I'm telling y'all, I've had so much fun reading this, from top to bottom. Now, if you ask me what got me into this, I'm really not exactly sure. I think it was just basically like the cover. Something about it with, this black dude looking at the Batman suit. And like I said, it says the next Batman second son. And something about it just really caught my eye. Now, of course, on the cover, you can see this is Tim, a.k.a. Jace. I'm going to just call him Jace so y'all don't get confused. Fox, Lucius Fox's son. And, of course, this is the Batman suit. Of course, you see it's Batman suit. No Bruce Wayne in it. And on the back, it says the dramatic events of Batman and the Joker War. This is a sequel to the Joker War. It says the Joker traumatized Lucius Fox and made him realize that it was time to bring his prodigal son, Tim, aka Jace Fox, home, back to Gotham City. Why was Jace separated from his family, and what dark secrets does this tortured young man hold? And how does it connect him to becoming Batman in Future State? This is a prequel to Batman in Future State, basically on how he becomes Batman. Learn the troubled history of a man who lost everything and witnessed the hard, lonely road to redemption. And on the back here, of course, we got Batwing. And I'm honestly tell you, this is probably the only time I actually like this suit as far as looking at this book goes. I think in the book it doesn't look as good, it doesn't look as cool as it is on the back of this book. And then, of course, if I slide this open, I'm gonna let y'all see the inside as well, because I thought this was really cool. On the front, obviously, you see Batwing, and on the back, you see Batman. And of course, if I open this up, this is exactly what it looks like, which I thought was pretty cool. So, getting into this book, it's basically Jace's story on how he becomes Batman, like I said. And in this story, he's basically been away from home for some time now, and a lot has changed. And so he's doing these missions at the beginning of this book for this guy named Vol. And we don't understand exactly why Vol needs what he needs from the bad guys. We just know that he needs it. And so he sends Jace after the bad guys. And of course, the mission doesn't go the way he planned because the bad guys knew it was coming. And so he gets met in he gets met in his room by some almost masked, I don't know what to call him. He kind of looks like Deadpool with the mask on, just the mask. And he gets told, "Hey, your dad wants you to come home. You gotta come home." So he comes home, but obviously it's not a warm welcome. His brother Luke is not happy to see him. His mom is happy to see him, but there's just a lot of stuff underneath the surface that is basically making it a rocky welcome. And his dad is running Wayne Tech, so he's basically like a typical dad. He's away from his family and always running business, and he's always been like this for years and years and years, according to Jace. And Jace is, he's changed a lot. Obviously, his family still calls him Tim, but he wants to be called Jace. For whatever reason, he changed his name, and we really don't find out in this book why. And then, of course, like I said, you got Batwing on the front of this cover, so we already know that Luke Fox is Batwing. Now, Jace doesn't know that, but basically, he's out doing his own vigilante thing. And Gotham was also changing this book a whole lot too, because vigilantes have been outlawed. Something happened, of course, during the Joker Wars that has made vigilantes outlawed. So, he's still having to do this. He's basically having to be this Batwing on his own. And then, we got a new commissioner. I don't know what happened to Commissioner Gordon, but there's a new commissioner. Not exactly sure what her name is. I have to look this up, but basically she's taken over. And the new mayor, he's not a big fan of vigilantes, and he basically put her in place to see that vigilantes either get put down or get served justice, because he ain't rocking with them. He's not with the stuff that Commissioner Gordon did. And we don't know where Batman Bruce Wayne is or what's going on with his world. Like I said, I gotta read that Joker War story to find out how we got here. But I definitely plan on getting the sequel, Future State, because I want to read it. I seen it, the story the other day, but I didn't pick it up to find out, what happened. But I want to read this first, and that's what I did. So, like I said, in this story, it's basically Jason's story on what he's been going through, his story and how he becomes Batman. And so, his brother Luke is upset at him because there's something that happened that his family has had hung over their heads while he's been off doing his own thing. And his brother just feels like he's a screw up. He's just, he's out for himself. He doesn't care about anybody else. And he just wants to do his own thing. And that's not obviously true, according to him. He wants to be a good guy and do the right thing. But he's had this dark cloud hanging over his head for so long that, it's just affected him in a lot of different ways. And so, with what else is going on here? You got the cop force who's been down on their luck. I guess they lost a lot of cops on Joker War, and so now they have to rebuild. This is where the new cops come in. The new head cop comes in. She's hiring new cops. She's electing cops to become detectives before it's their time, and just hiring smaller cops to move up in their place to basically rebuild the cop force, because she's really trying to work towards outlawing vigilantes across the board. Like I said, she ain't rocking with them, and it's just it's crazy. It's crazy to see how this world is. In this story, I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed it. I can't wait to read the rest of it. And I'm trying to think what else. Is there anything else that I'm missing? So, Jace is basically working for Vol, or working with Vol, and he's trying to get some information for Vol. And of course, we don't ever see Vol except for his younger days at some point, but that's it. It's not really a super clear picture. But basically, he's working for Vol, and he's trying to get this information. And Vol is letting him know, hey, these people are in Gotham, and they've got this information in a bag. You need to get the bag. So Vol sends him to get this bag, and in the bag are some IDs. And he's talking to Vol and trying to figure out what these IDs are for, and Vol is telling him these are black side, off the grid people who are doing some really dirty stuff, but it doesn't really explain a whole lot of what Vol needs this stuff for. And so he does get into a fight with one of the characters, I forgot her name, and he gets his butt kind of handed to him because he gets stabbed. His friend shows up to help, and he goes to talk to her, and there she's telling him, look, I understand, why you changed your name to Jace. Doesn't get explained. I understand why you're doing what you're doing, but you need to let the past be the past and move on to the future. In some other words, I trained you better than this. You shouldn't be getting your butt handed to you, is what she's saying. And this is where I'm going to get to the elephant in the rooms. And like I said, as you can see in the title, it does contain spoilers. So we found out what the elephant in the room is, why his brother Luke doesn't like him, why there's dark cloud hanging over family. So in present day, he goes to the court office with his mom. They're sitting there talking to lawyers, and the lawyers want to hear his side of the story about what happened. So this is where he tells the story of when he was younger, he he got his feelings hurt by a girl at a club, at his party, at a like I said, at a club. And so he storms out. He ends up running over a guy, and instead of helping him, this is a question probably like in high school, instead of helping the guy, he drives off and leaves. Now, at the time, his family had money, so he was real cocky, real arrogant, real full of himself, and felt like he didn't have to go to school. He could do whatever he want. And so, fast forward to the present day, his mom stops him at some point, and he's like, hey, I wasn't finishing my statement. She's like, yes, you were. She's been trying to do stuff to kind of cover up the story to help him. And so has his dad, because we get to a point where he goes to see his dad, and obviously his dad has been away in his life working for Mr. Wayne. And this is where he tells his son, look, the reason we're leaking a lot of this messed up stuff out to the media about this guy that you hit is to help you save face. And he doesn't think that is right, but his dad is telling him, look, we're doing what we got to do to protect you. Maybe we need to do something to help protect you. So he sends him to a military school. And this is where he befriends Vol, but obviously the picture of Vol isn't super clear. It's in the younger days. And, we get back to the present day. And so he is in an office because he eventually accepts a job to work for his dad, but it's for his own personal reasons. And his dad is having a meeting with somebody. He's kind of a shady character if you read about it. He's kind of a shady character. Not his dad, but the guy he's working for. But his dad obviously has something happen to him during the Joker Wars, and he doesn't want to talk about it. So he's, hiding, I guess, behind his work. And so Jace is, again, off doing his own thing, and he's talking to Vol, and Vol is talking to him about these key cards, and these are bad dudes that these people were on these key cards from the bag he stole from Arcanine. I think that's the name of the company that, is constantly mentioned that Jace is going after. And so, meanwhile, Meanwhile, you got Luke. He's off doing his own thing as Batwing. He's trying to find a cure to help his sister. I almost forgot about this part. Back in the early parts of the story, she does get fall into a coma. She's walking around with a cane due to something that happened to her during the Joker where she falls ill. And so the younger sister, not exactly sure what her name is, she's upset with her brother Luke because Luke is failing at getting this cure to help their sister. And I think she knows, I'm about 99% sure she knows he's Batwing. And so, he hasn't been able to do his thing to get the cure. And like I said, he still feels like, a lot of this is Luke's fault because, not Luke, but Jace's fault because she was fine, I guess, somewhat before he came back. And now that he's come back, it's putting a lot of stress on the family. And so, of course, we get to the end of the book, and like I said, this is where he's talking to Vol, and Vol has about this key card information that he's trying to give him and let him know, but it's not really a whole lot of information that he's getting. And so he's like, look, the encryption that you had me get from your dad's, from your dad, there's something else hidden on it. And this is where he tells him there's a secret basement. Jace is like, can you hack it? He's like, yeah. So he goes down there and he finds out that, surprise, surprise, there's a bat suit down there. There's a secret basement with a bat suit in it. And the bat suit is basically this big armor bat suit. It kind of looks like Tony Stark's original Iron Man suit when he broke out of the cave in the first Iron Man movie back in 2008. And he's basically like, my dad, who knows how else, was Wayne, they all work for Batman. The area that he's in is like an old room. It's an old building. And so that's where the story ends. And it's a really, really, really good story. Now, of course, there's a lot of detail in here that I'm missing because there's so much to read. And I'm sorry I can't remember all the characters' names, but this is what I'm telling you, to pick this up for yourself so you can find out, because I'm definitely getting the sequel to this. There's one book I know that there's like a stack, but it's not just his story. It's like his story, Nightwing's story, and I believe somebody else's that I really want to read in the future state. And like I said, there's a lot of details in here that I'm missing, but of course, a lot of stuff that is cops aren't working with vigilantes. The lead cop, the new Commissioner Gordon, basically is, pretty much working with the mayor to ban vigilantes. You also got these two cops that one cop she's not really too kind on because she feels like he lied about her story, and she feels like he let a vigilante go instead of putting him down or capturing him. But you gotta read this for yourself. There's a lot of detail in here, like I said, that I am skipping, that y'all gotta read for yourselves. I cannot wait to read the sequel to this. Like I said, this is just a prequel. I can't wait to read the Joker War story to find out how all this happened. Now, I do know a little bit. I think I did see it at the store. At some point, Joker got his hands on Bruce Wayne's, spoiler alert, Batman's money, and he's been using it to do pretty much everything he possibly can to make Bruce's life a living hell. And I can't wait to read it. But I have a lot of fun reading this. Y'all post your comments down below. Y'all let me know what you all think if you have read this, or if you haven't, get it. Let me know what you all think. I will definitely see you on my next video. Not sure what it's gonna be, but I'll let y'all know. Of course, y'all see it. Like I said, get the book, read it if you ain't got it. I got it from a local comic shop. I'll actually post the link to the comic shop I got this from in the description box below. But until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Peace. I'm out, baby.